We have breaking news here on SportsCenter. Legendary Steelers head coach Chuck Noll died Friday at his home in suburban Pittsburgh. Noll had been under doctor's care for an undisclosed illness. The Hall of Famer coached the Steelers to 4 Super Bowl titles after inheriting a franchise coming off 8 straight losing seasons. He took over the team in 1969. Again, Chuck Noll dead tonight at the age of 82. We want to welcome in ESPN NFL insider John Clayton right now. John, what more do you know about the passing of Chuck Noll here tonight?
What I can tell you is that the Allegheny Coroner's Office is confirming the passing of Chuck Noll, one of the most brilliant coaches in the history of the National Football League, a guy that I covered for so many years, a guy that I know that prepared his team as well as any coach I've ever been involved with, because, I mean, one of the things that he was able to do was set an agenda that the players were able to play as players, and, of course, they were as prepared as any team in the National Football League. And so he's been fighting a battle for many, many, many years. And unfortunately, now this time has come where he has passed, and so Chuck Noll no longer with us. A big loss for the Steeler organization and for the National Football League.
John, you talked about it. You covered Chuck Noll during their run of dominance in the 1970s. What was his impact, big picture, on the NFL?
You know, what's amazing is that, as I would remember, I would talk to him, and he would talk about coming into work at about, 8:30 in the morning, listening to NPR, and leaving at 5:30 at night. And you would think, okay, boy, that's a short day. That was the most prepared football team I think I've ever witnessed, because, number one, he was able to at least be able to take some of the greatest players in the history of football, prepare them in a way that they were able to do the best they can, and they were never thrown off by anything that was able to confront them on the football field. He had a great coaching staff. He had the ability to be able to relate to the players, have them perform in a professional manner, and be, one of the greatest franchises and one of the greatest eras in the history of football. This guy was absolutely brilliant, one of the smartest coaches I've ever witnessed.
John, was he a hands-on coach? How would you describe his coaching style?
It was kind of more of a CEO type, in the sense that, he was a man of few words. I mean, when he spoke, you didn't hear a lot. He allowed the players to be allowed to have the personalities, if they were able to say things either positive, negative about other teams. He didn't really care as much if they got too far away, then he was able to control them. But the biggest thing that he was involved with was preparation. And his preparation for the players was just immaculate. And that's, you can talk about the immaculate reception. It was an immaculate coaching job, because this guy was just so brilliant in how he was able to take his team from Monday to Saturday to have them perform at the highest level on Sundays and, get 4 Super Bowls. And so much of it was him, and also, too, his recognition of players he could find in the draft, whatever it was. This guy was absolutely as brilliant of a coach as I've ever witnessed.
Coached the likes of Terry Bradshaw, Franco Harris, Jack Lambert, Mean Joe Green, along with many, many others. Was the head coach of one of the great dynasties in the history of professional sports, certainly the NFL. John Clayton joining us tonight here on SportsCenter. John, thanks. Chuck Noll was inducted into the Pro Football Hall of Fame in 1993. His playing career lasted 7 seasons as a member of the Cleveland Browns, but he was hired as the head coach of the Pittsburgh Steelers in 1969, led that team for 23 seasons, winning 4 Super Bowls along the way. Hall of Famer, legendary head coach Chuck Noll, dead tonight at the age of 82.